Hi, welcome. I want you to take a moment and just look at this picture, study it. Doesn't it represent the perfect picture of what you're up against in collaboration? Look at it. Who has the right of way? What rules are being followed? What culture is determining the context of the project? Oh, and look closely. Unless these two individuals agree on the rules, they're going to crash. There's a certainty about that. This offers a glimpse into the complexity and difficulty you run into absolutely every time you're collaborating. And if you're afraid that you've been doing the wrong things or the old way of doing it isn't working any longer in today's environment, you'd be right. Every executive and every company I've worked with is looking to collaborate more, not less. So you need to be thinking, upgrade, 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 upgrade my skills, because your old team skill sets won't leap the gap that's necessary in today's environment. And what I'm focusing on today is 6 integral collaborative points of interaction. Know your scorecard, know your destination, know yourself, know your partners, know how to communicate, and most importantly, ask the ultimate question. I look at these 6 and you look at them and you go, wow, they're simple. Yet I want you to know that deeply embedded under each of these points of collaboration is complexity. So let's look at know the scorecard. Research reveals that the best practice corporate collaborators have clear goals and role clarifications from the get-go. It is the group determining the rules of engagement. That means from the very start, before you do anything else, you have to determine clearly agreed upon measurable outcomes that you're looking for. It's establishing a climate of accountability, including what happens when you miss a deadline. Typically, when I receive calls from clients who are complaining about the lack of accountability in a group that they're involved in, it's because no one ever set this up from the very beginning. What happens when you don't hit your deadline? And then let's not forget, one of the most important things is who's responsible for the final decision. Is it the collaborative team? Is it a corporate leader? Is it a division head? Is it the CEO? Because all of this makes a difference in how you proceed. Next, it's important to know your destination. You have to define the project and or the issue and determine where and what the end results will be. Agreement is essential. Why? Because it mobilizes the group and keeps you on track. It's about how long do you have to work on this project. It's like, what does it look like when it's over? It's like, how do we know that we did a good job? It's really looking deeply into those kind of issues. These are what keep you on track. It will aid you not only in keeping you on track, but shaping your decisions along the way. It will help you know what are the trade-off priorities and, what the leverage points are and where the decisions are important and when necessary. Next, it's know yourself. Honestly, this is the most important ingredient in the collaborative endeavor. Why? Because you're the only one in this exchange that you have control over. And a study by the Hay Group confirms this when they found that what executives in collaborative environments need most to develop are competencies such as influence, inspirational leadership, coaching, mentoring, and emotional self-awareness. Today's more flattened, collaborative organizational structures requires that you're far more fluid than ever before and less hierarchical in your skill sets. How do you match up? Powerful leaders are confident of their skills and are comfortable even when people disagree or think differently or argue with their points of view. That's why self-awareness is so important in the collaborative efforts, because all of this is necessary. You are part of the collaborative team because you bring something to the table that no one else can bring. If you mute your voice or you don't allow, if you buckle under other arguments, you do harm to the entire project. Equally important is know your partners as well as you know yourself. Remember, once you label someone negatively, it clouds your entire interaction with them. So it's your job to start looking at your collaborative partners from the mindset of healthy leadership. What's that? They understand how important it is to relate to collaborative team members based upon what they bring to the table, not what you believe or you think is missing. Next, they utilize Stephen Covey's first seek to understand before being understood. They listen. And this also means that they ask truly open-ended exploration questions. It's where they're seeking to understand the ideas as though there's gold in your collaborator's concept, even though you can't see it yet. It's not questioning to corner your collaborator and to have a Perry Mason moment. Rather, it's asking open-ended, curious questions about how right and how great they are. You know, you'll be absolutely stunned when you start implementing this exploring for gold at how often you hear me, you have the shift in perspective that will lead to breakthrough thinking. Because collaboration is all about combining disparate ideas and turning them into golden ideas. Collaborators know how to communicate. They present an idea based upon how the receiver needs to hear it. You know, most people are presenting ideas based upon their own thought process, but the receiver can't hear you because they speak a different language. By that, I'm not meaning they speak Russian while you speak English. What I mean is their mind is wired differently. They receive information differently. They process information differently. To be heard, you need to present your ideas with a receiver-centric mindset. What do they need to hear in order to understand? This is exactly why collaborative groups have been put together, because their line of attack is polar apart. That's where great ideas emerge from. That's where the ideas come from for products and new corporate directions and new processes. You know, they come out of seeing the truth in what others is saying, seeing something newly, and then reinventing from that position. And this only occurs when you and the collaborators honor one another. Last but certainly not least, ask the ultimate question. Ask the right question. No longer can managers identify project success solely based upon maximizing their own results at a local or division or a country or a product level. Instead, everyone on the team must act in the best interest of the enterprise as a whole. It's about building a culture in which executives optimize for the whole rather than maximizing their own or the divisional advancement. Honestly, a prerequisite to creating a successful collaborative team is interacting collectively as equals, no matter what position you hold in the organization. And it is about everyone bringing their gifts and talents to the table to produce outstanding results. Thanks so much.